Hey, how's it going? This is Rich from Elk Endeavors. Tonight we're going to be talking about conversions mastery. Conversions mastery. Now, what we talk when we talk about conversions, we're talking about sales. Okay, so before we get to that, I want to talk to you and just let you know that I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Let me know how you like this video. Drop me a comment, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed it, and also drop me a comment. You can drop me a comment to let me know if you have other things that you're interested in me talking about. I'm happy to create content on those things. So I have been creating content for lots of different things, and I'm always, while I come up with new ideas every day, I also am always looking for new ideas from people who are watching and want to know more. So with that said, I'll go ahead and get right into it. So copywriting mastery, conversions mastery. So thus far, we've talked about let's see, we've talked about list building, we've talked about copywriting, we've talked about tribe building. Okay, and all that leads to, right? All that is going to lead to conversions, right? So the goal is to get people to, oh yeah, yeah. The goal is to get people to purchase your product, right? And that's where the conversions come in. Now, if we were all good at this, we wouldn't need courses in it, right? We'd all have the ability to sell and not even worry about it, right? So sometimes conversions can mean different things. So mostly it means sales, right? But conversions can be anything when you have an ad, right? A conversion could be, it's just the result that you want from the ad. So it could be that you got a lead, right? That ad converted into a lead. It could be that you got a sale, right? That ad could lead directly to a sale. And then I don't know what the third example so it would be, so I'll just erase that one. But you see what I'm saying? There's two different things right off the bat that you could look at for conversions. So, but most everyone wants to talk about sales, right? Because that's why we're in here. That's what we're doing here. Okay. And that's why we're all in trying to become affiliate entrepreneurs. Now, the important thing here is that you're not looking at sales in terms of, you're looking at sales in terms of uh, helping people. Okay, so this is the big thing for me that I didn't know when I first started out looking at affiliate marketing. Not even programs, but just looking at YouTube videos. I was just out to make a buck. Like that's what I was after, right? All I wanted to do was supplement my income and just leave it at that. To me, it was the same thing as it was the same thing as driving for Uber, right? So I had stopped driving for Uber, and then I started looking into affiliate marketing. Um, and but the difference is that you know once you become an entrepreneur, okay, when you see yourself as an entrepreneur, um, then you're looking to help other people, right? You're trying to add value to their lives. And that's much different than trying to make a buck, right? So you're trying to you initially trying to make a buck, and then you become an entrepreneur and you realize that you're adding value. You're adding value to people's lives through the product that you've been talking about. Okay, and that's a really important part. But ultimately, you are also in the process of selling things, right? And that's a really important. It's obviously important to remember that. Because that's why you get into the business, right? So if you think about you're trying to make whoops you're definitely trying to make money, um, and then you start worrying about other people, right? So here's what I'm trying to say, is ultimately you've got like when I started out, I was trying to make a buck, right? And that was through Uber. And then I was trying to make a buck through affiliate marketing, right? But then I realized, then I became an entrepreneur and realized that entrepreneurial efforts, right, should lead to other people being helped, right? Helping other people through the products that you're promoting. I'm running out of room on my screen. Um, so when you start talking about conversions, you want your sales, you want your sales to do two things for you, right? You want to put yourself on solid ground. Like I, as an entrepreneur, am working to make the ground under my feet extremely solid, right? Rock solid ground underneath my feet, right? For my family, for my future, for my health, everything like that. Okay. So I'm trying to make solid ground. So right now, sales to me are helping me get to that solid ground. Once I get on the solid ground, then I can start worrying about other people, right? So I'm still like any sale I make for the 4% success challenge is helping other people, right? That's an important, like it's not like I'm not helping other people. It's just that right now that can't be my focus because I'm trying to get myself on solid ground right now, right? Like I need to worry about myself first in order to then help others. It's kind of like the like in the airplane, right? Where you have you know how when they say if the masks come down, you put it on the child first, and then you put it no, sorry, you put it on yourself first, and then you put it on the child. That's it's kind of the same thing, right? Like I have to make sure that my family is taken care of, and that's what I'm focusing on in terms of my business right now. And then I worry about my customers, right? This is kind of I feel like I'm coming across wrong because ultimately like all my sales are directed like toward making sure my family's on solid ground, but I'm also thinking about my customers, right? So they're sort of the customers are second right now to like what I need to do for my family. And then so okay, so let me I guess maybe I'll put it this way, right? So right now my family's number one and number two is my customers in terms of my business. Eventually what will happen is that my family will be taken care of, right? So they won't need a number. So then my customers become number one, right? Because I'll already have this taken care of, okay, and I'll already be taken care of in terms of my own family. So then it's my customers. So in order for like, and an interesting way to think about like charity, right? So I used to work for a bike touring company called Cycle America, and we rode bicycles across the country, and we had a charitable element to it, right? And one of the things that as a person riding for Cycle America, you could ride for any charity that you wanted to. Whereas, like, so this is a cross country bike tour. Where at the same time there was it was called the AIDS Ride, and I think it might still be going on. I don't know. Um, but there's basically like the AIDS ride, right? And so when people would say like if people were trying to raise money, you can say like, oh, I'm raising money for AIDS, and people would give you money. Like that's kind of an easy sell, especially back in 2000. Whereas with Cycle America, like if I went and I said, well, I'm raising money for for this very particular type of cancer, and it's really complicated, but if you can give me some money, that would be awesome. And then people might purchase from you or might offer you money in terms of your charity. Whereas with the AIDS ride, you just say, I'm riding for AIDS, and people give you money, right? I'm riding for cancer. I'm riding for like there was also a lung ride. We called it the American Lung Association, right? So the AMA or A no, that's not it's not the AMA. ALA, I guess. I don't think they have an acronym. So ALA, right? They had a ride, and you could say like I'm riding for the American Lung Association. People know that name, so they would give you money. So back to my point, is it's So the whole point of this, right, was that the guy that ran the AIDS ride, I forget what his name was, Doug, I think, but he made a lot of money, right? Like he made a lot of money with the AIDS ride, and it was interesting because I didn't like that idea. Like I felt that if he's running a charity, that he should be, basically, like, I felt like he should be poor, right? But ultimately, like, when I think about it now, 20 years later, I realize that, like, if you're gonna run a charity, like, you need to be set for yourself, right? You need to, in order for you to bring in top talent, you need to pay them well. So part of, like, I think only like 30% of his money actually went to age research. The other went to overhead and to people, and all the different players in the organization. And he took a lot of heat from that, and I remember thinking the same thing. But ultimately, like, he had to take care of, like, he's running a business, right? So he's trying to take care of his family, just like I am, right? So, and just like you will be. So when you first start out, you're gonna worry about, your family's gonna be number one, and your customers are gonna be number two, right? And that's fine. That's okay, right? You have to be selfish and get things going. And then once you get things going, then you can start worrying about other people's families and other people's customers and your customers' families and stuff like that, because you are already set, right? So that's what I want to get through. So I hope that makes sense. I think it does. I hope you hung in there for my big explanation. I always like going back here and seeing what I what I came up with, but kind of a cool thing. So thank you very much for watching tonight. I really appreciate it. Please drop me a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what you think of my channel. Subscribe. I'd love for you to subscribe. Share the link. Things like that. All those things that all the YouTubers say, and I'd love for you to do that for me. And until tomorrow, I will let you go. Have a great night.